So names of everybody up there.
Yes. So right now we're recording up by the beautiful monument here. I've picked up a name, John.
Sophie's 10:40.
Sophie's picked up a name, David. So we're gonna walk around, ask questions, and we're gonna see what comes through and relayed back to me and through voice recorders and whatever is picked up in sensing energy. I also have the name Walter. I don't know if that would be up there. It might be hard to see. We thought we heard gunshots and war horns. In my peripheral, I've seen native soldiers. I'm going to say soldiers because they were working as a group. A confederacy. The word confederacy comes through. Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name? What year it is? This is a beautiful place that holds a lot of hardships and a lot of fallen soldiers, a lot of death, a lot of blood, a lot of pain. If you'd like to tell me your story, I'm listening and I can hear you speak to me if you'd like, or you can refer it back to the girls with the recorders, or this phone that I'm holding is a recorder as well. So if you'd like to say anything to us, we are listening, and we will tell people your story. A story that didn't get told in the history books, because this place is in the history books. You guys have made phenomenal history. Right now I see an overview of what looks to be people battling back and forth. I see gunshots. I see what looks to be Native Americans being shot, but I also see what looks to be an infantry of soldiers just marching through this place, and you just see fire after fire after fire. I see weapons being used in the general sense of what they would use on their gun, people being stabbed. To the General, John, do you have a message today that you would like to speak? Would you like to tell us about your journey and what it would have been like in the time that you were in? He's saying many deaths. To the General, John, which one is this that he keeps speaking to me with?
He was out on the British side.
He's talking about many deaths, many deaths.
Only Americans are listed on that plaque. I took a picture of it.
Okay. We'll have to look for a Walter, too.
He could be on the British side.
Yeah, it could very well be. He's speaking about a poultice. A poultice. It would be a form of a compression that they would have compacted a wound with. He's showing me what looks to be a wounded soldier, something to do with the arm. It's very the skin is very bare and bald. It would be gone. It looks like a black wound where he would have been maybe possibly shot, or the cannons that they might have used, he might have been part of the explosion or maybe been hit in some manner of that way. We're talking about the way they were putting compressions in.
Yeah, because they used a lot of, and they had the Native Americans too, and they
Yes,
used a lot
Native
of the
Americans had
herbs,
natural healing, the way they use things. So it's definitely a different form of healing for a wound.
Is there anyone here who would like to say their name?
John, again, this is the same John that is the general, correct?
We are here. We have ways to hear you. Sarah can hear you. Our devices can hear you. Our devices can sense you.
There's so much residual energy. I'm seeing what residual energy is playing back and playing back. So right now I just seen what looked to be an explosion of some sort. I'm assuming this is what they meant about cannon. It was like you see soldiers coming up and flying backwards.
What is the volume?
Thank you for the sunshine. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Feels so nice.
muted that for a second.
To the General John, what would you have liked to have done different in the matter of this battle? What do you think you could have changed? I'm assuming he means he's saying he would have dug more
Touches.
like a form of defense, to where he could have tricked them more, I guess, to where it would have been
Like they dig the holes.
yes, you know how in military
they
they put in like steep holes and they cover it.
Yep.
So when they fall in, that's one of the things he's telling me different. I would have made more kills. He's quoting, I would have made more kills.
John, do you realize that you slaughtered us in this battle?
There were a lot of deaths and there were a lot of people fighting against each other. Do you think you served your purpose? Do you think you could have came to a better place and a better way of handling things? He's speaking about war. When you speak about war, do you think you could have made different choices in the battle to where it didn't have to be this way and many people died? He just said to me,
Timestamp 2840.
he's talking about we took the brigade.
I mean, the British, they slaughtered us.
Do you have any remorse? Do you have any regrets? Do you have any feelings of sorrow that you would have changed and not killed so many people? Do you think that it really needed to be a battle to this magnitude? War was needed. Why was war needed? Don't you think we could have figured out a different way to come to an understanding to where we could coexist with one another?
King George? No. Who was king at that time?
He said we needed to mark our territory. He is very unforgiving. He is very set in his ways.
The British, how they came in and they were...
He's I don't want to say stubborn or disrespect him, but he's very, very, very set in his ways and energetic wise. He's very unapologetic.
Military man. He did what he was told to do. He fought for his country. In the long run, we ended up with this land. Was the battle worth it?
He says yes. We took what we wanted. He's very, like I said, he's very unapologetic. This monument is beautiful. Beautiful. Are there any names on this monument that you would like to state in this video. You're going to speak right into this phone. This phone will hold your voice. It will record your voice. If you would like to state anything into this camera, you may do it through this phone. It will record your voice in time so we can play it back and hear it. I know in the time that you lived, there was no such thing. We are hundreds of years later. We have a lot of residual energy here, and we have a lot of residual, but we also have this general, very unapologetic. He is here, and he is not like, I didn't come here to apologize. So he's very like, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear type feel. He's like, I'm not doing it. He's holding, as he puts it, he's holding his ground. He's saying he brought many together to fight this battle. Brigadier. He's talking about Brigadier General. He's speaking about holding the line. Holding the line with he's showing me a vision right now of all his soldiers in a line all together, and he's talking about holding the line, and he's putting his sword up in the air, and he brings it down, and he says, slaughter them all. This states, both sides regroup during a driving rain. Herkimer's troop concentrated here. Forming an irregular circle, the attackers were on all sides. Are there any soldiers here, whether you are Native American, Mohawks, Oneida, Tuscarora, American soldiers, any soldiers, would you like to step forward and speak and let us know your story? I pick up a general that was shot and he was dragged to safety. He would have been shot in the leg. We pick up feeling lightheaded. We pick up feeling heavy in the chest. Who is the person that was dragged to safety? Who was shot in the leg? Who died from that wound? Who? Is there somebody by the name of Herkimer, or are we talking about Herkimer, New York?
Nicholas Herkimer was the general for our side who was shot in the leg. It was amputated.
Okay, because he's repeating to himself, I was shot. But I wasn't sure what Herkimer meant. Because obviously there's a Herkimer, New York.
That's his name.
This is what I saw, but I'm not sure if
Yes.
it's this
Now, are those these?
or this. I'm not sure which one I saw running
Okay,
across.
so what I saw.
These are the Mohawk.
Yes, these are one of the Mohawk Native Americans that I saw run across the field as we pulled in.
This is the type of clothing. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure if it was this guy or something like this.
They were more savage here than the actual. So
he was
British.
just running across the parking lot into the woods.
To me, they would have attacked first, because one, they're angry.
He was being like stealthy, running across.
To me, they would have been more angry about the war having to be plagued upon them.
Which one of you was running across the parking lot?
He says field.
Okay, I mean, oh yeah.
He corrected you just now.
He wouldn't know it as a parking lot.
Remember, go back to the time they were in.
Right, field. Which one of you was running across the field? Were you Mohawk or were you?
Okay, well, I have somebody speaking Native right now, so let's hold on a second so I can listen to because he's speaking Native. He's not speaking American.
English.
English, American, same thing. Yeah. Which one of you is speaking? Can you let me know what you just said? I wonder if he can understand me.
Oh yeah, because I don't know any Mohawk.
Aho. Starting to rain?
A little bit.
I heard what sounded to be almost aho. Like it would be,
I got the name Nathan Bartlett a few minutes ago.
okay, so you might pick up something native on the voice recorder because when it's... Yeah, that's geese. I hear it too.
Okay, so it's not good.
Every time I hear the cars going by, I'll mention that so that or something.
Yeah,
like that,
if we're talking amongst ourselves, just make sure you let in the video know that one of us is talking in the background.
That's what I did, yeah.
To the Native American spirit that was speaking, do you have anything to say? I don't know if you can understand me because I know you would have spoken your native tongue.
I don't know why, but this is like totally random.
I have a Native American here showing me an axe, as if they would have used guns, but he would also have carried an axe, like a throwing axe. He would have killed soldiers with an axe, like a throwing axe. Okay, I'm hearing the word field again.
I've heard, a lot of them seem to be at the edge of the woods. A lot of them, you can
Should we
feel
go to a different part of the field?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so...
A lot of them were like the legs. Whatever happened to their legs. So,
I have affinity for Native Americans, so I feel like a lot of the Native Americans are going to step out that way. I just don't know if they would talk to me because I'm a woman in that sense from a different time. I have a lot of pain in my chest right now.
I don't know if it's just me, but it was like not so much that way.
Can anybody do any research and tell me if I'm being shown a Native American, what looks to be taking a soldier, putting them on their stomach, pulling their leg to the back of them, like holding them down by the back of their leg, and it's being forced almost to the back, and they're taking them and they're scalping them in that way. Does that make sense of how it's almost as if they would scalp them, but they would hold them down from the back almost? I don't know if you guys can research that. I'm seeing so many bodies just being dropped. Like so many bodies are dropping. It's insane how many bodies are literally just... We're standing in a place to where so many bodies would have been dropped, like just by death. The comparison is insane from when we walked in till we get here.
It was like one spot.
What?
The EMF jumped.
Yeah, you will. Did you get back to it?
No, it hasn't done it again. I thought maybe it was when I pulled my phone out. It's not my phone. I checked hers. It's not hers. It jumped to the yellow. And that's why you were talking about scalping.
Yes. What I had just been shown was a Native American. He would be a Mohawk because I see him as the picture up here. He has someone on their belly. He's forcing their leg to the back of their butt area, and he's got their arm behind their back, and he's kneeling on them, and he's scalping them.
See, it's not.
He's scalping their hair right off. I just seen an orb over by you, Jess. It would have went over your. It would have went. Oh, it might be that. Oh, it might be this mound area right here. Let's go here.
It just shot up to red and held steady at yellow for a few seconds.
Okay, well, we're gonna switch the cameras over here. Let's see.
So let's say 40, 15. Just see if there was anything heard.
Oh, my battery got zapped. Yeah.
Well, hopefully your phone picked it up.
All right. Well, I'm going to close this guy down because it's working, then it's not working. So we're just going to just shut this off. Okay. I won't record, I guess, that way. I'll just have to do it here. Okay, we're going to go up on this mound here. For some reason, I'm being yanked to this mound. I'm going to call it a mound because the area in itself is oddly shaped. And I'm just going to call it an energy mound. Now, how far does this go back? Is it just this here? Or is there another monument somewhere?
Okay, it's 11 p.m. or 11 a.m.
Is there another monument here?
I know that some of those woods are posted back there. There's signs up back in there that
I mean, I went down in just a little bit into it, but not much.
Because I keep being shown there's something else that we're supposed to look at. It's a smaller thing. I see it as a grave, though.
Over here.
I see it as a grave.
Maybe I don't know if it was over there, but I saw rocks over there. Well, we also have not walked that way where there's.
yeah, we haven't done a lot in this direction.
No. But I know that before we turned into here, there was another spot back there that had a little small monument.
Okay. Well, I'll walk this way with you guys. There will be noise in the background, just so you guys know. I got a will. Did you hear a will? No?
There were Williams on the American side.
Okay.
See if you can get a last name. 'Cause there's...
Did we wear like blue coats? Is that what we wore? Because I see a man in like, I would call it a smoky grayish blue color, like a dusty color, a blue dusty color. And I see a man in
Our clothes were a lot less formal than the British.
right. I see a specific hat. It's definitely not British. So this man would have rolled down here and he would have died here. Right here. Let's try here because he's showing me his body just rolling here.
At the bottom of the hill?
Right here, where this patch of grass is right here.
Yep.
Let's go here. For some reason, he's coming to tell me to go down the hill.
I think it's kind of neat.
Because it's in a patch. So let's see what's up here. Will, would you like to tell us anything? How did you die? You're showing me you're going down the hill to your death. Did you get shot? Did you... He's telling me he was, a lot of guns, but I'm noticing a lot of people were stabbed here. Like it would have been like, I think they would have used their gun to stab, but to me, he would have been stabbed. Maybe they ran out of gunpowder, but he's showing me like I was stabbed. And the way he was stabbed downwards. Like, maybe the person who he was fighting against was taller, and they just, like that. So he would have... What's that?
Or on a horse?
I don't see a horse, but it could very well be a horse. And they would have ejected it from his body, and then he would have rolled down here in this. He would have had no help. Nobody would have picked him up and drug him to safety or anything like that.
Well, no, because he was just one of the many soldiers. He wasn't.
Well, you can
disrespectful of him, but he was not of importance, like
right,
Sir John
right.
Johnson or the generals or.
Well, if you would like to speak your piece or say anything that you didn't get to say in life about coming here, you're absolutely welcome to speak into this camera or speak it to me. Did you want to fight in this battle? Were you forced to fight in this battle? We'll start there. Did you want to fight in this battle? I'm assuming Will is a younger guy because he said no. He almost sounds like he said no, Pa made me.
I think the age, they didn't have ages for war.
Because to me, he looks really young. He has to be at least 14 or higher. He was just a kid. I'm going to say he was a kid, so maybe he's a little bit older, but to me, I see him as a kid. Anybody under the age of 18 to me is like a baby. He says he's on the wall. He's up there.
Yeah,
He is. Okay, he's up there. So I'm wondering, do they give the ages?
That's why I said if you could get a last name.
Yes, if you could give me your last name, that would be great.
Or even the first letter of your last name.
Did you happen to notice a Williams?
I just saw a bunch of there might be, but I know there were Williams on there. Hold on.
As in Williams is first, like a bunch of first names by Williams, or Williams' last name Williams?
I've seen a lot of first names. Let me see if there's any last names.
He said we were surrounded. William, do you have any regrets about this battle?
Yeah, I gotta go up and get a better picture.
He's speaking of time.
First half or the last half of
William is speaking about time and what he could have done different. He said he would have liked to have had a family to carry his name. That's sad. Well, William, that which tells me he never carried on his name to have children and or descendants of himself in that sense. You got knocking up there? Okay.
It sounds like it's coming from inside the tree.
Well, it might be a tree spirit. Or it could be that's maybe how the natives spoke to each other on the slide, like as in, they would have spoke to each other to, like, Morse code. Like, if you see any severely bent trees, like downwards, that's how they mapped to go where they were supposed to go. They bent the trees down to map how to get through the woods. It's an old native mapping system. We're heading over here because we hear a lot of tapping noises on the trees. So we're going to see if that's just an animal or if it's an actual supernatural thing. A supernatural phenomenon thing. It is now 11:08 and we are going to... What is that? There is no bird. I'm gonna turn the camera to this tree. There is major knocking in this tree. The wind's picking up really high. I'm gonna turn the camera right now to the tree. We definitely hear noises coming. You're probably gonna pick it up on the recorder. Yeah, there it goes. Yes. There is no birds, there's no squirrels in these trees. This tree